What is going on, world? What's up, YouTube? It's Zero here. Today I'm bringing you guys a brand new StarCraft 2 video. This one is between two players on the WCS Pro circuit. Spawning here in the top left-hand corner of the map, playing with the red Zerg pieces. He's very well known in the StarCraft 2 Pro scene, is continuing to grow throughout the circuit. His name is Reynor. And his opponent spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, playing with the blue Zerg pieces. He's currently the best player on the planet and wants to continue showing everyone that he is exactly that. His name is Serral. So, guys and girls, game number one here in this best of 5 series that was played at the WCS Spring event was one of the semi-final matchups of that tournament. So I am extremely excited to see exactly what happens here shortly, because this tournament has been absolutely awesome so far. I've been really excited with, and you know, it's been a great tournament to cast. But I'm excited about this one because we have two of, you know, the best Zerg players out there in the world. You know, just absolutely incredible players. Reynor, of course, is kind of still on the come up. You have Serral, who has already made his name known throughout the scene. And I'm excited to see what both these players decide to do here in the early stages of the game. It seems like hatch gas pool openers are going to be coming out of both these players. You'll see at the top left-hand corner of the production tab. See that a lot of times with the ZvZ matchup, lots of people, you know, knock the ZvZ matchup as one that's, you know, not very exciting, but I find it to be a very intense matchup and a lot of fun to watch, to say the least. I really do like seeing, you know, just kind of what both players are, you know, decide to do. And there's a lot of times throughout the course of the game where it just gets so intense regarding like exactly what these, you know, what these players decide to do, and it kind of, you know, the things that change up over the course of the matchup. But there's just things that happen all over the map, and that's what makes it so exciting, at least for me. To watch and cast, is just you know, exactly that. So, does look like we are going to see a couple of queens coming out of both players. We are going to see Serral getting his metabolic boost upgrade a little bit quicker than Reynor. But that said, he'll have his Zergling speed upgrade here relatively shortly. And I gotta say, guys, that, you know, this matchup is definitely one that is an exciting one, because these two players are, you know, it's starting to become kind of almost a rivalry between these two, which really is exciting. You know, you have two incredible Zerg players who definitely have mad amounts of respect for one another, but at the same time, you know, it's a hard fought matchup between these two. We're going to see Evolution Chamber as well as a Roach Warren coming in now for Reynor. Serral is going to go ahead and get his third hatchery out, as well as an Evolution Chamber of his own. So we start seeing those +1/+1 ground-based unit upgrades here shortly. We're going to see the lair coming in now for Reynor. So Reynor is kind of skipping out on that third hatchery, at least for the time being, whereas Serral's going for that third hatchery to try to get more of a booming economy. I'm wondering if Reynor's going to go in for a push here shortly. We are going to see Serral once again is trying to just see if he can get any kind of scouting information. Glowry Constitution is being researched now for Reynor. +1 upgrades for both players are going to be coming in as well. You're going to see the Roach Warren follow up here for Serral. And so as of right now, you know, it's interesting. You know, Serral does not really know exactly what's going on as of yet. But as we have somewhat of a lull in the game, take an opportunity here just to talk about just Serral, as his dominance in the StarCraft 2 Pro scene has just been really, it's been something that we've really never seen before. We've never really seen these players do exactly what they, you know, kind of what they've been, how far he's been able to go and how many tournaments he's been able to win. It's absolutely phenomenal. Looks like these queens are, just barely going to not get that Overlord, but it does look like units are going to start moving across the map here. for Reynor, and he is going to start moving them out. As I was saying, that I was thinking a push was probably going to be coming, as that Glider Constitution is going to be finished up in less than 10 seconds now for Reynor. This could be a very, very big push here that is coming in. There are Queens as well as Roaches on Serral's side of the map that are going to have that high ground advantage. We're going to see a Spine Crawler that is going to come in as well. It looks like these units are going to start going after that third hatchery. Reynor is trying to put on the early aggression here as we pass that 5-minute mark. Missile attacks level 1 to be finished up in less than 10 seconds for Serral now. It looks like he's going to have to sacrifice this third hatchery at this point, and it looks like more and more just red units are starting to move across the map for Reynor. That third hatchery does go down, but now the question is there going to be enough here for Serral to really hold on against this push? Because it does look like Reynor wants to get a little bit, he wants to start doing a little bit of some damage here, to say the least. He is kind of just kind of being patient about it. +2 upgrades are starting here for both players. We're seeing Glider Constitutions being researched. The longer this game goes, it feels like Serral can, kind of get on his feet here if he's able to just hold on a little bit longer. Third hatchery's going down now for Reynor, so it all comes down to who's going to overextend first, it seems, and that's probably what the biggest thing's going to be. Reynor looks like he's going to go ahead and get his Overseer out, and here comes Serral. Serral wants to pounce on these Roaches right now. Very, very intense play as we see the transfuses coming in for Serral on those Roaches. Beautiful play here, as Serral is able to at least get out of that natural base, and it does look like he's starting to get onto that third hatchery once again. Beautiful transfuses on some of those Roaches. Very nicely done by Serral. So we'll have to keep an eye on what is Reynor going to decide to do here, as we're going to start seeing some Ravager play coming in for both players. Both these guys going back and forth, though. It's one of those things. It's an interesting dynamic. This is why these two are so much fun to watch, because there's just stuff happening all over the map. I mean, look at all this creep that was spread by Reynor from one end of the map to the other. Overseer is going to be able to get that vision that he's going to need. But it does look like, Reynor is a little bit ahead of the supply count, at least for the time being, and it looks like he's going to start to move out a little bit with these Roaches and Ravagers. But Serral's on top of this. Serral sees exactly what is going on, at least for the time being. And we are going to see beautiful, beautiful bios there. We are going to see Nematized Carapace finishing up in less than a couple of seconds now for Serral, and the missile attacks level 2 will be finishing for him, and level 2 will be finishing for Reynor around the exact same time. So near identical as far as the upgrades go, at least for the time being. We are going to see Reynor is going to continue trying to get a little bit of some aggression here, wants to make Serral somewhat uncomfortable, and I feel like Reynor is going to try to pounce on this army. That's exactly what he seems to be doing, but it looks like Serral is going to try to get the surround in here. Oh my, the surround is coming in, as Serral is going to try to close this thing out right here with a little bit of the overextension by Reynor. Reynor was trying very hard there to get an edge, but it looks like Serral now is going to take a nice commanding lead, as Nematized Carapace is going to be finished up in less than 5 seconds for Reynor. But I gotta say, Serral, the beautiful defense there, really definitely helped out. I mean, that is for sure. Wow. What an intense matchup so far, guys, as we approach that 9-minute mark. Both players, I mean, there's these things happening all over the map. The micro of both these players has just been on point. I mean, Serral playing incredible defense, but Serral loves to surround his opponent. That's what he does so well. Looks like Serral now is getting his 4th hatchery as well. So it does look like Serral very well might start moving in here with some of these units. Looks like he is kind of being really patient. The patience of Serral is certainly something that we have got to kind of take into consideration, as he's got a really nice sized, a nice sized army. He's ahead of the supply count. I mean, Reynor is certainly not out of this thing quite yet. Wow. So it does, it does look like now we're going to see Burrow being researched by both players. We're going to see You know, a lot of the upgrades, I mean, very similar, you know, with both these players. I mean, it's a heavy amount of Roach Ravager composition, at least at this point in the game, that we're really seeing. I'm wondering who's going to try to switch it up a little bit, as we do see Reynor trying to snipe that fourth hatchery of Serral. But Burrow is going to make this a very interesting dynamic now, with both players getting that very shortly. Ground Carapace level 1 is going to be finishing up for Serral in less than 10 seconds. But there is just things happening all over the map right now. There are so many units by both players splitting up their armies and managing multiple things at once is what these two players do just so well. You know, a lot of people have been asking, you know, the question is Reynor is he the next Serral? Essentially is what a lot of people are asking. And, you know, I think that there is a very, you know, I see similarities in him to what Serral does. He does, you know, similar things. You can definitely tell that he kind of has taken part of Serral's game and turned it into his own. It's a hard question to answer, though, as all these biles are going to hit a lot of those units. Beautiful biles there by Reynor. Reynor is going to try to hold his ground here, as he was able to, with those biles, was able to do a little bit of some damage. But it does look like Serral once again wants to pounce on this army as he is hitting. There are things happening all over the map. Reynor is hitting that fourth base location, or that third base location, and here's Serral on the opposite side. Reynor is taking out and just took out that fourth base location, but Serral looks like he's going to take out the fourth base location of Reynor here. Who is going to have the edge, as it looks like there's somewhat of a base race going on here, and Reynor is going to have to run all the way back home, but Serral is doing a lot of damage right now, and this could become a significant issue because he's got just so many units down here towards this natural expansion, doing a lot of damage here. Now Reynor is going to try to capitalize on this, as it does look like the burrow is engaged, and some of those units are going to burrow away from Reynor, at least for the time being. And then the surround is going to come in again. Serral is just surrounding this army. This is the second or third time now in this game he has absolutely surrounded the army of Reynor, and it looks like Reynor's supply is starting to go down. But is there an overextension here by Serral? Looks like Serral's going to smartly run back home, because he's doing damage in the main base location. Burrow is engaged with some of those drones, but man, Serral is everywhere, and this is what I'm talking about with things happening all across the map. This looks like it is finally going to get cleaned up, but just so much damage is being dealt. Whew. Wow. Unbelievable, man. It does look like, you know, the amount of resources being used, the total amount of units lost here definitely goes in favor so far of Serral, but oh man, that is just absolutely insane, man. I mean, just where we're at right now with these two players, it does look like Serral once again, he's continuing to put on the aggression, but the main battle is going to be happening over at the third base location of Serral. Here we go once again. Looks like Reynor is going to try to get positioning. Once again, Serral, though, looks like he might just have a strength in numbers, just a little bit too much of Serral near this third base location. Serral's also hitting at the natural expansion right now of Reynor. Oh, Reynor's supply is starting to plummet. Could this be the end? And could this be a quick 1-0 lead for Serral? It is, and Serral is able to take this game in a very hard-fought matchup between Reynor and Serral. I hope you guys did enjoy this first game of this best-of-5 series between Serral and Reynor. And if you guys did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, stay positive, and I'll see you guys all in game number 2. Alrighty, everyone. Well, game number 2 in this best-of-5 series finds us on King's Cove LE. Spawning here in the top left-hand corner of the map, playing with the red Zerg pieces. He's currently down, but certainly not out of it just yet. His name is Reynor. And his opponent, spawning in the cross position, playing with the blue Zerg pieces. He's currently up and wants to keep this series rolling in his favor. His name is Serral. Alrighty, guys, well, this game number 2 here, as I said in this best-of-5 series, is one of the semifinal matchups of the tournament that happened at the WCS spring event. And so one of those, WCS stops, very exciting stuff, guys. I gotta say, the first matchup between these two, you can kind of see there's so many similarities in the styles of play that both these players have. There's just an edge there with Serral, and I think that comes with experience. Reynor, as we talked about in the first game, the big question that's been surrounding Reynor is this guy the next Serral? And, you know, lots of people are talking about it. I wonder, you know, in the next couple of years or so, or even just this year, what are we going to see from Reynor? Could he be, you know, the next Serral? And, you know, there's definitely similarities there. You can definitely tell that he takes some of those styles of play from Serral, and that makes him a real opponent and a force to be reckoned with in the pro circuit. But that being said, guys, Serral was able to overwhelm Reynor. You could just see that experience definitely, you know, overwhelming. Serral was very good at throughout the course of game number 2, really going and ending up just kind of overwhelming his opponent by surrounding the army and such. So I gotta say, I'm very, very excited to see what ends up happening here in this next game. Between these two, it does look like a hatch gas pool opener is going to come out of both players, so nothing completely out of the ordinary as of yet. But, oh man, Reynor, I felt like there were moments where he had a real good chance at taking game number 1 against Serral, so I'll be interested to see what he ends up doing in this game. That is for sure. We are going to see a couple of queens coming out of both players. We're going to see metabolic boost being researched out of the spawning pool, which of course is the Zergling speed upgrade. And we're going to start probably seeing what both these players are going to, you know, end up deciding to do here at these, you know, these stages, earlier stages of the game. Are you going to start seeing some transitions where you're going to see some significant, you know, pushes by either one of these players? It's hard to tell, at least for the time being, but we are going to see some Zerglings moving across the map for both players. Looks like both players are deciding in this game to go ahead and get a quick third hatchery, which we know in game number 1, Reynor did not get this third base until later on. He wanted to go ahead and go for that push across the map, and it did not quite work out according to plan. I mean, he was able to do a little bit of some damage, but didn't do enough to really take out Serral. But once again, Reynor was able to get the cancel on that third hatchery as well as that Zergling. So very nicely done by Reynor, getting the cancel on that hatchery. That kind of just slows down the production of Serral. Is really what it does, and that is absolutely beautiful play by Reynor. So Reynor's doing making small moves that are really going a long way for him so far in the early stages of the game. We're going to see the Roach Warren follow up. We're going to see on the opposite side of the map where we see, of course, Serral's going for that third hatchery, but we're also going to see Evolution Chamber and Baneling Nest. So we're going to see little change-ups here of build orders by both these players. Lots of Zerglings are out on the playing field right now, and this is why I love the ZvZ matchup. There's just things happening all across the map. Sometimes it's very hard to even keep track of everything, but it does look like Serral is gonna, you know, scout the, you know, the timing on this hatchery going down. He's got some Baneleys that are out on the playing field now as well, and it looks like Serral is gonna probably start possibly nibbling away at this third hatchery, but you gotta be very careful. All comes down to the micro. You do not want to lose a lot of these Zerglings for free. It does look like one Baneling does go down, but here we go. Serral's going to go into that natural base location. It looks like he's going to try to do a little bit of some damage here. Some of the Zerglings. Zerglings versus Zerglings. Looks like the surround is going to come in, though, on that queen, or very close to it. Looked like it was definitely a surround on that queen. They are not able to get that queen, though. It looks like Reynor's defense is absolutely on point, at least for the time being. Roaches are now out. We are going to see the Roach Warren coming in now for Serral. Baneling Nest is going morphing in as well for Reynor. So things are happening quick in this one so far. I mean, a lot of things are happening across all over the map so far. So I guess the question here is, you know, what all is there that both these players, you know, what are they all gonna be able to kind of see and do, at least at this point, because there's a little lull in the game. But I mean, just look at Serral. This guy is going all over the map, and then Reynor does not see this, but Serral also did not see that. So very interesting play here. Now, here we go. Looks like Reynor is going to start moving across the map with more units. Now, we are going to see some banelings here. So these banelings are probably going to try to get in here and do some damage to some of these drones in here, is what my assumption would be. We're also going to see a lot of red that is moving down the map here. And, oh, man, this is going to be scary because this is looking like a pretty deadly force by Reynor. Looks like Reynor wants to really take the fight to Serral once again, and I like this decision a lot by him, but at the same time, is it going to be enough here for Reynor to really do some crippling damage? The transfuser's going to be coming in on those roaches. It looks like Reynor might just barely have enough, or Serral, I should say, is going to have just barely enough to kind of hold on, at least for the time being, without, you know, a lot of crippling damage there. It does look like Serral and Reynor are still kind of duking it out here, trying to do as much damage as they possibly can. Looks like Serral's going to back off, at least for the time being. Reynor's going to back off, and wow, what an intense matchup between these two. These units are still going at it near the middle of the map. Man, Serral does not want to leave any one of these units alive, and that's exactly what he does. But these units look like they're going to start moving up towards that third hatchery and try to see if there's any types of builds that they want to see, at least for the time being. But it looks like once again we're kind of at a lull in the game here, as I mean, there's still action that's kind of going around all around the map at this point. Glad Constitution is going to be researched by both players. We're going to see the Nematized Carapace coming in as well for Serral. So I gotta say, guys, that, you know, I mean, Serral is just so good at the as far as, you know, just hiding units and getting a lot of that information that he needs. Now, here's the question, though. Serral has no idea about this Nidus network, so that's very interesting. That'll be something that we have to keep track of, because that Nidus worm is going to be coming out here relatively soon. Now, I wonder if Serral is going to try to make a move here, as he is going ahead, and he's going to be getting his fourth hatchery out as well. Now, it does look, oh, is Serral going to see it? Serral does not see it yet. Now he does now. Okay, so he does see it right at that nick of time. He does see it. Nidus worm's coming in here. Serral's on top of it, though. Seeing it immediately. Looks like another Nidus worm is going to be started right in that natural location. Looks like another is coming, but then at the same time, we are going to see Serral is going to be caught into a corner here, as he's got a bunch of spine crawlers down. Is he going to have enough, though? It looks like he is actually going to have enough, as another Nidus worm is going to be started in that third hatchery here, but it's going to be taken out before it even gets a chance to start. It does look like Serral did cancel on that fourth hatchery because of the issues involved there. Obviously, did not want to. He did not want to. He thought that he probably would lose from the Nidus worm. So Nidus worm is going to be coming in here relatively shortly. Serral is once again on top of it, and I mean, Serral is just outplaying his opponent right now. He's reading him like a book at this point. And here we go. It does look like Zerglings are going to be coming into that main base location, but the real battle is happening at the ramp of that third hatchery. Who's going to have the advantage? It looks like Serral, once again, is going to have the advantage here, as he is transitioning into a Spire. Oh, man. Looks like Reynor is trying so hard in multiple areas, as there are more and more Nidus. The Nidus worm is trying to come in here. It looks like it is at that main base location. That Spire is coming in, but I just don't know. I just don't know. Does he know about this? Reynor does know that the Spire is coming in, but I just wonder, is it going to be enough at this point? Reynor is all over the map, but the problem is that Serral's defense is just better than the offense of Reynor right now. Serral is everywhere, and now with the Spire coming in, oh, wow, this is going to get interesting. As we pass that 10-minute mark, once again, Reynor is being kind of caught in a, being put in a rough situation, as so many units of Serrals are starting to move up towards that third hatchery, towards the ramp. Looks like Serrals might just want to go ahead, regroup here, and not push in as of yet. Looks like he's looking for an angle. He's going to try to hit it from both sides, from a couple of sides at once, as he is chasing down this army. going up towards that ramp. You do not want to overextend, though, if you are Serral. I mean, Serral is supply blocked currently, which is a little bit uncharacteristic. He is supply blocked. Ground carapace level 1s can be finishing up in less than 10 seconds now, and it looks like Serral's going to try to pounce on this army right here and right now. That's exactly what he's going to do. It's all about the strength in numbers. Who's got the numbers, at least at this point? It's very, very hard to tell. It looks like Reynor, once again, is going to get that advantage, as we are going to start seeing the Mutalisks are out on the playing field. They are going to be on top of that Nidus Worm once again, as we are going to see that 4th hatchery going down again. Here come the Mutas. The Mutas are target firing down those Ravagers. Man, this is starting to be a little bit of some damage, as a lot of roaches are going to be coming in as well. There's just a lot of units. Beautiful play, though, by Reynor, getting the Nidus Worm down and having these queens come out. So it looks like it's going to be an all-out assault right now of Reynor on Serral. Who is going to have the advantage at the ramp once again? Serral looks like he's got the numbers in order to hold on, at least for the time being. The transfuses are going to be coming in here shortly, but I just think there might just be too much Serral here, as it looks like that Nidus Worm is going to be in a lot of trouble. These queens are in a lot of trouble. GG is called, and Serral takes a commanding 2-0 lead over his opponent. I hope you guys did enjoy this game between Serral and Reynor. And if you guys did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if new, stay positive, and I'll see you guys all in game number 3. Alrighty, everyone. Well, game number 3 in this best of 5 series finds us on New Repugnancy LE. Spawning here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, playing with the blue Zerg pieces. He's currently up and wants to close out this series right here and right now. His name is Serral. And his opponent spawning in the cross position, playing with the red Zerg pieces. He's currently down and wants to get on the scoreboard and begin the reverse sweep. His name is Reynor. So guys, game number 3 in this best of 5 series, as I said, that was played at the WCS spring event and was one of the semifinal matchups of that tournament. Serral just absolutely, kind of enforcing his will upon Reynor, and just, Reynor has been playing out of his mind, playing very good StarCraft 2, but the problem is that Serral is just playing a little bit better throughout the course of this series so far, and I wonder, can Reynor get back into this thing? Can he get back into it? Of course he can, but I think the question that is gonna kind of come up quite a bit now within as we talk about this game and this series is, could he have maybe done a couple of things differently to overwhelm Serral, because it really felt that Reynor knows how to beat Serral. He knows, like, you can just tell he knows that he has to be the one putting on the aggression, and just, Serral is so difficult. It's not just because Serral is, just so good at his macro, but it's because he's so good at defense. He is so good on defense that it translates to good offense, and that's how you win. I mean, the defense wins championships, guys, in more things than just traditional sports. I mean, even in StarCraft 2, it really does. I mean, if you have really good defense, you can, I mean, that's half of it. I mean, that is half the battle there, is trying to, become really well established within, just with playing like these, these intense macro focused games, and really figuring out what your opponent's doing. It's all about that scouting information and such, but these two players, man, have been on a absolute, I mean, these are two of the best Zerg players out there in the world, guys. They are absolutely forces to be reckoned with. And I'll be interested to see what they both decide to do as we see hatch gas pool openers coming out of each player. You can see with that top left-hand corner, that production tab, a lot of times very similar in the very early stages of the game. We're going to see they're going to go for that quick third hatchery on both sides. And then we're going to see the Bailey Nest follow up. We're going to see metabolic boost being researched out of the spawning pool. And the Zerglings are starting to move across the map here. Definitely gonna, try to maybe get a little bit of some scouting information. I mean, the exact same thing can be said for Serral. He'll be trying to get some scouting information himself. But Reynor is going to see that third hatchery is now down. And it looks like, you know, baneliness out of both these players. So we're going to see probably the Ling Bane composition moving into maybe Roaches, I would assume. We'll have to kind of wait and see as this game kind of progresses here. But Serral has just become, you know, he is trying to create a incredible legacy of winning in StarCraft 2, unlike anything else that we've ever seen in StarCraft 2. Now, we are going to see Serral is going to be moving out with a lot of Zerglings at this point. Looks like he is going to start moving out across the map here with a nice handful of Zerglings. There are a couple of Banelings that are out on the playing field now for Reynor. You're going to have to be very, very careful. You do not want to lose these units for free. But here we go. Looks like Serral's going to go after that third hatchery at this point. Question is he going to be able to get it? Could he possibly get it? There are Banelings now coming out. So it looks like he is able to nibble away at that third hatchery. But didn't do any, you know, crippling amounts of damage to it, at least for the time being. Now, it does look like Serral is going to... Serral's going to try to see what kind of scouting information he can get, at least at this point, because he's so good at the scouting information. I mean, there's nothing, the timings aren't, you know, there's nothing really, no important tech structures, at least for the time being, that Serral needs to really know about, other than maybe the evolution chamber, just to get that scout that, okay, evolution chamber is out on the, you know, out on the field right now. So he's going to go ahead. He's got his evolution chamber out now, getting those +1 upgrades, and we're also going to see the follow-up with the Roach Warren. So here we go. One more back and forth as it all comes down to the micro with these, with the Zerglings as well as those Banelings. So you got to be very, very aware of. But Serral has just been playing incredible StarCraft 2 in this tournament. You know, the WCS spring event, guys, you know, coming off that, you know, of course, the tough loss at IEM in Katowice, and then, you know, he's been, you know, playing in WCS winter, and then, you know, in the WCS spring, it's, you know, it's kind of trying to get back into a rhythm of winning, even though he gets deep into tournaments. You know, since BlizzCon hasn't really won anything, so he's trying to get back into that win column of you know, get into championships, but winning them, and that's what Serral is so well known for. And what his legacy is going to be made of, possibly down the road here, as we have more and more Banelings that are going to be coming in here. Zerglings are going to try to get this round on these Queens here. Could be interesting. Queens are getting surrounded, but you got to be very careful because of those Banelings. The Banelings are making it a very interesting dynamic, as we are going to see the lair coming in now for Reynor. Back and forth jawing, as I call it, between these two. That jostling back and forth between these two. That ground carapace level 1 is going to be finished up in less than 10 seconds for Serral. We're going to see ground, or I should say nematized carapace is going to be coming in for Reynor, which of course is that Overlord speed, which is one of, as I've said in the past, one of my favorite upgrades in StarCraft 2, because it just gives you that vision, that high ground vision, the eye in the sky, as I call it, for a Zerg player. Now, we are going to see a lot more units that are moving out here, as in the form of Roaches, as well as Zerglings and Banelings. Here we go. Lots of Banelings are out, but the target firing down by these Roaches could be absolutely devastating, as these Queens are starting to fall like flies as well. It looks like Serral might have gotten an angle here, as a lot of units are starting to come in. Oh my god, Serral is doing a lot of damage here. This is going to be absolutely huge. Can Serral move on to the grand finals of the tournament at the WCS spring event, as he is doing a lot of damage right now? So much is going to be coming in here as those Banelings are getting the hits on some of those drones, and oh my god, Reynor is put into a really tough position as he's trying to get it back. More and more of these spine crawlers are going to go down, but there is just a lot of damage coming in here. Oh, that Baneling nest is being target fired down, and it looks like just back and forth at this point, but Reynor's supply is plummeting. GG is called, and Serral moves on to the grand finals at the WCS Spring. I hope you guys did enjoy this game and this series between Reynor and Serral, and if you guys did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you stay positive, and as always, I'll talk to you guys all in the next one. Peace.